Boom! What's going on, everyone? This is Steve Larson. Welcome back to the Your Final Offer Summit, where we are asking marketing experts what their final offer would be if for some reason they got sick. I am very, very excited to have on with me today Emily Hirsh. Emily is one of my favorite people on this planet. She actually is who's personally doing a lot of my ads and is incredible. She has a company called Hirsh Marketing. And I'll tell you we have a little thing written out for you, but I'll just say one of the things I love so much about what Emily's done. It's very rare to you have like 30 marketing experts below you that you've trained that are right. I think so. Is that the number?
Yeah,
and
my team. Yeah.
Yeah. They're going around and at the same level that you are going around and doing the service that you would normally do. Like to have an agency that's grown as large as it has and keep the quality, that's so insanely rare. And I'm just really excited to have you on here. Welcome to the summit.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm really pumped about it. Just for anybody who doesn't know who you are, could you just tell everybody what you do?
Yeah, so I'm CEO of Hirsh Marketing. We do Facebook, Instagram ads, and marketing strategy for influencers, people in the digital product space, lots of webinar ads, and we've got over 50 clients on our roster that we serve in this space.
It's awesome. And you crush it.
Thank you.
You dominate. I truly love working with your company. It's been a lot of fun. And there's my blatant plug, everybody. It's been very, very fun. So the whole premise of this thing is, let's say you get sick and you're going to can no longer work in 90 days. You have a company, but got to change some stuff. What would your final offer be?
So I decided my final offer would still be what I offer today, my company, because I think it would be a bad idea to say, let's start a new one and try to perfect it in 90 days.
Sure.
So that was where my brain went. And I think the number one thing I'd have to focus on is I still am obviously like the face, Hirsh Marketing, right? So I'd have to pull myself out of the marketing somehow. And then I would be able to still offer it, but I'm still so much a part of the marketing.
Which I feel like is almost unfair for everybody else because you've trained 30 amazing marketers to do this stuff underneath you.
Yeah, maybe. But then I would argue when I was thinking about it, I'm like, it's so much harder to do this and automate it when you've got a service business, because there's so much that I still do have to jump in and fix. So I was thinking through what I would do if it was real and I couldn't work. So
what would you need to change in the current business in order to pull that off, you think?
So my top thing would be pulling me out of the marketing, which my thought was I would have to put in, I still think I need face experts. And so I would choose team members who would become that expert of, to represent the company basically in the marketing. And the second biggest priority is I'd have to build a leadership team that would be able to make decisions for me, which I'm obviously building right now, but I still have to make a lot of decisions. So that would become top priority because they'd have to decide things about our process and our clients and what we're going to do to move forward and all of that.
This kind of seems to be a common thread and makes total sense that, it's going to require an additional level of leadership, of decision makers that can do things as if they were you. Yeah,
exactly.
So who's the client you like to go for in order to sell this?
Yeah. So our clients are influencers, people at 7 figures. And so with that, I do a lot of speaking or our Dream 100 campaigns, and that's how we get clients. And it's me, selling our process. And so we can't do a massive Facebook ad campaign to the masses because that's not necessarily our client. So our clients at 7 figures is an influencer, ideally sells on a webinar or some sort of funnel like that to digital products.
Okay. And then how do you keep grabbing that kind of individual past the 90 days? You're no longer part, because I got sold on you through the Dream 100 also, and it worked crazy well.
Right.
And even though I didn't open the package for a little while, I'll be honest, and it was next to my desk and I just kept saying Hirsh.
Yeah, we got you in the follow-up.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It was awesome. It worked super well. So past the 90, you can't do much. How do you keep selling?
Yeah. So past the 90 days, if I was removed, what I decided is I would choose 2 or 3 people in the company who would actually go implement those strategies still, because we still need that kind of relationship that you saw us. What I sell is our process. And so I'd have to just push that even more is it's not me. It's actually, you're still getting the Hirsh process, which actually is documented. We do train our whole team on that.
Right.
And so I'd have to turn that into our marketing too. So the Hirsh process for our marketing, which I do it. So we don't have it fully. That's the last thing that I actually would have to pull me out of. So I'd still sell my process, but take me out of it. And I decided I would have people who would represent that. So maybe they'd do the Dream 100 videos that we do. They'd actually record them and kind of represent the process, basically.
That's interesting. Okay. So then, anyways, I love the way you had the Dream 100 campaign come on in for me. So is to be like a very similar process for each person, and then they're just doing a little customization throughout. That way it kind of still replicates you.
Yeah, I think I would have a strategist on my team do it, because they're, like the high level strategy, like me, like we see all the client campaigns at a high level and everything. And so what we do is record a personal video, and we actually look at the person's current marketing and say like, hey, we see you're doing this and here's our suggestions. And so I would have like a representative basically do that, say, I am a senior strategist at Hirsh Marketing, and I checked out your marketing, and I recommend that you do this instead. And so basically having a solo person that would represent the outreach for the company by representing my process, which I'm no longer here because I can't work, but the process is documented that they're representing in terms of strategy.
So, and I'll tell you that video that you sent was one of the things that got me. I don't even remember watching it. I'll be honest with you. But what I remember was like, what? They looked to see all my social media and to see where the holes were. Like, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
And that was like, and then a little while later, another thing came in the mail, and I was like, this is really powerful.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for a sale. Do you, so the focus for the next 90 days, right? You're going to go out there. The focus for the 90 is Dream 100 exclusively? Is that kind of what it is?
Speaking. So I do a lot of speaking. And so kind of like what ClickFunnels has done, where they've got like representatives now who can go speak for them. I would also want to do that. People who could go represent the Hirsh process, our marketing strategies, what we do for clients. That's not me, but is a part of my team. And so those two things would have to be my focus, because they're the two things I'm still heavily involved in.
That makes sense. Because you've done so much with the Hirsh process itself, so then you're going to create processes for Dream 100, processes for the speaking, and then the leadership team knows what to run. Okay.
Yep, and have to make decisions.
Now, what price points do you like to put these things at? I know it's case by case basis for sure, but
yeah. So like our client monthly retainer, we charge a percentage of ad spend. So I'd say it ranges from like $4,000 to $8,000 a month that a client's paying, depending on how much they're spending on their ad spend. And so it's definitely high ticket that we're selling. And so we need those people who are already at about 7 figures and beyond.
Sure.
And so I keep it the same price. One thing I did note too, though, is like, I think it'd be really important in this case to not add anything. You'd have to almost like simplify your offer more. So I'd have to say like, we're not going to work with service businesses at all. Like, we're not going to take on e-commerce, and because I can't add process if I'm gone. I can't add new strategies. It's like, we have to take what we're doing right now really well, and then only do that, and then give my leadership team basically all the permission to be like, you have to turn down anything that would throw a wrench in what we can do well.
That is super amazing. I'm writing tons of notes, and that's very profound. In order to automate an offer, you need to simplify it, not add to, especially. So you'd get rid of service-based businesses, get rid of e-com, any other categories you're like, there's no way.
I would probably say like, no, we can't build funnels. We can't add that service in the future. Like, so things that we would want to possibly add would be like, no, because we'd have to scale what we know is working.
It's funny because like listening to this, I'm like, what should I kill?
Yeah.
Let's see. So anything that you would do, and you touched on it a little bit here, but is there anything that you would do in this scenario to keep it, again, very low management on your side? Obviously you're going to be the leadership team coming in, but what does that look like?
Yeah, I mean, I think keeping the offer simple and probably spending the 90 days going through the like what if scenarios. Like, what if a client asks us about like, can we do this, or can we add this on, or can we, accommodate in this way? And setting up the guidelines for like, this is how you answer that. This is how you do that, because those things are going to come up. Those are really what the CEO gets pulled into, is like the things that aren't like normal. And it's like, what do we do in this situation? And so spending the 90 days planning for that and trying to figure out what those would be. And then the leadership team for sure. So I think keeping it simple will make it low maintenance, because if you're saying like, oh, in a year from now or in 6 months from now, we're going to add a whole new department and a whole new service. Like that wouldn't work if I was gone, unless I had another CEO, I guess, who could do it for me, which I don't think I could do that in 90 days, get another CEO. I think that would take a year probably to train and like find an actual CEO. So really simple. And then the leadership team to be able to make decisions. And I would almost say like, try to get out of it in 60 days and spend the last 30 days of it like for, okay, what else is going to come up that I don't know about, you know? So I'm gone, but I'm actually still here for 30 more days to help you guys figure out what might come up or what might you need. Like, you know, when you go on vacation, your team, it always like figures it out and then you figure out where the problems are. And then you're able, when you're back, like to be more removed. It's kind of like that.
Yeah. And I know that you're you're religious about your daily stand-up meeting, right? And so the person, I mean, it's not you obviously doing that. You're going to find a person to act in your place to do all those
actually
things.
right now I don't run it. So, but I'm on it, like giving feedback. And so the team expects me to be on it. So I guess we'd have to set up that expectation, but I don't run my huddle now, but I'm on it every day. And that's kind of like my daily update. So I think there'd be a huge mental thing of like, you're not going to get that update anymore about your company. Might
be harder on you than the company sounds like. You've already set up so much.
Right. So I'd have to have the leadership person whoever's like the main, you know, probably head of operations, you know, member would have to be able to make any of the decisions that I make on the huddle now of like, what should we do in this situation?
You know, what's interesting is when you sold me on all of this, it was really cool because Dream 100, you were definitely the face of that, interacting with me back and forth. And then when it came time to onboarding, like, I mean, I've been with you for a bit now, and it's been this person will now do this person will now do this person will now do this, and it's I haven't even seen you.
You don't talk to me,
which is awesome, you know, and it's been great and fantastic. Results have been insane, so cool. But you already run it so closely to this.
Yeah,
I think that's what's interesting about what.
Anyway. It is because I am removed from minus the marketing. Like that's going to be my biggest challenge because I'm still the face. Like, so I would have to, and 90 days is not a lot of time to train somebody to speak for you and go on stage and represent you. So that would take a lot of my 90 days is how am I going to still grow the company? I know we can at least handle what we have now pretty much without me. Sure. I could go, but like, would we grow? We need to get new clients. And so that would have to be my focus. But you're right. My team right now is already set up so that like I'm zero involved in clients. I talked to you on the sales call because you're Dream 100, but that's not even normal for me to talk, like to do the sales call piece too.
I feel honored.
Well, because you're Dream 100, you thought that. So that would also have to be, you know, a change that we make.
So I understand it because I'm experiencing it right now, how incredible it is. Everything already set up. Everything's a process. There's nothing that's out there. There's nothing that's super powerful. Very, very impressive. The Dream 100, as far as the marketing goes, I understand again, conceptually, okay, this is all put processes to that and systemize that. What about speaking engagements though? Like, how are you going to keep getting speaking engagements when it's not you, you know?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that we'd have to turn it into a process. We'd have to turn what we teach, like you're going to get, you know, to your audience, you're going to get the Hirsh process. We're going to teach you behind the scenes, you know, we manage $1 million a month in ad spend. And so we're going to teach that to you. And I think like, this is such a great way to look at business because that's what so many of us are the face of our business right now, like influencers. And so if you can just look at everything as like, it's not you, it's your methods or your strategies or your, like, whatever you want to call it. People call it all different things. I call mine the Hirsh process, but you could call it like, you know, the code or whatever you wanted, you know? Yeah. So if you can brand what you do into something that people feel like and can comprehend that other people can know it, right? It is not just in your brain, then I think it makes it so much easier. And so for speaking, that's what I'd have to do too, is like, the speaker wouldn't be able to matter as much. It couldn't be like, oh, you're getting Emily Hirsh. It has to be like, oh, you're going to get the Hirsh process. Your audience is going to learn this like secret, awesome strategy process. And so that way it's not, the attachment isn't really with the speaker. It's with the content that the speaker's bringing.
I thought it was, that was super key. You said that you sell a process, not ads.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
So I think if everyone kind of, if you think this way, you have to figure out how do you turn what you do so it's not all in your head and it's not like the client or the student or whatever is getting you, they're getting your process and they're getting your strategy or your method, like whatever you want to call it. And so that's what I've been actually doing for the last 2 years, like for clients, is we train our ads managers on that. And, you know, we're very upfront with that process. And that's what's been able to remove me from the day-to-day so far. And so I'd have to just like go deeper and do that with the marketing too.
And what's so powerful too about this whole thing is that you've been able to pull this off. I mean, you work way less than the stereotypical can't get away from my computer internet person.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah, I work like 30 hours a week. So yeah.
So no, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, your run rate right now is so impressive. Everything's amazing with this. Thank you so much for this. I guess anything else you'd like to add?
I think the two biggest things is like put a process, put a method to your content, and then simplify it. Like, because if it's complicated, you're never going to be able to remove yourself from it, you know, in 90 days or even in 6 months or 12 months from now.
Yeah, this has been brilliant. Where can people go to find you and follow what you do?
Yeah, my website's the best place, hirshmarketing.com. I've got a podcast. We also put out a monthly Hirsh marketing report. So we give you like the behind the scenes of how much ad spend we manage, how much revenue we generated. We're super upfront with those numbers, top converting ads, all the changes on Facebook. So you can subscribe to that report. It comes out beginning of every month.
That's so awesome. Guys, go follow Emily Hirsh. She's the real deal. Thanks so much for being on here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.